everyone. Welcome to the Creating Futures podcast. Today we have Ian Stube, me, Michael Radich as our hosts, and as our guest stars today we have Sal, Noah, and Steven from Alpha Centauri. Would you like to introduce yourselves, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Pleasure to meet you
So,
guys all here. Thank you
as
for
I
coming.
understand, you guys created or you guys are a part of a society, a utopic society. What?
Sorry, our
Yeah.
connection over here on this planet is kind of staticky. Can you repeat what you said, Ian?
Yeah, so I'd heard you guys created a utopic society. First of all, what is that called? What are you guys calling it?
So
So,
the name of our society, we called it Eden. Kind of a play on the Garden of Eden. We're a utopic society.
Okay, so how would you guys look at your religion?
So for like the religious aspect, we here on Eden have decided to allow more of a freedom of religion. We believe that we want to be a utopic society, and we believe to fully have a utopic society, we should have that freedom of religion. Everyone is free to choose what they like to believe. There's no one religion specifically here, even though I know on Earth there's a lot of different religions, there's a lot of infighting due to that. But personally, here at Eden, we believe that we have checks and balances in place that will minimize that impact from religion on its own. We believe it's a good thing.
Okay, so the freedom of all religion is essential, and basically,
It's better for people to be able to believe what they like to believe or what they believe rather than suppressing that. I believe that suppressing religion could actually have more of a harmful intake somewhere deeper down the line than the former. So that's why we believe in having that freedom of religion here at Eden.
Ian, you were saying something?
yeah. So I was actually just curious about normally every society country has a motto that kind of you can incorporate into the society. I was just wondering what that would be for you guys.
yeah, so our motto, when we were thinking about it, we were just trying to have a good time, and like we want for our utopic society, we just went with for our motto, we went with like good vibes break bad ties. So it was kind of like a play on words, and we think that motto just really works just because like our utopic society is all about just having good vibes and everybody just getting along and like having like the most amount of freedom as possible.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's great. Good vibes break bad tides. Love that. What going on to our next point. I understand that you guys made some sort of Declaration of Independence, something like that, to break apart from our society. Can you delve deeper into that topic for us?
Yeah, so basically, it's just like, like we mentioned earlier, we just want to, just create a utopia where everyone's equal and equitable and everything. And so one line that I would like to reference from our Declaration of Independence, it reads, "We reject a world where influence is bought and policy is written for the powerful instead of the people. We refuse to accept systems that drain the lives and hopes of the many just to enrich the few." So it really just goes to show and highlight the fact that classism was just a huge just issue back on Earth, and it's something that we're really passionate about and wanted to just get rid of. We just wanted to everyone just to be equal, and so yeah, it's just just a big problem that we wanted to tackle, and I think we're tackling it pretty well.
Oh, that's very interesting. Is there any like currency on this planet at all, or is there any like how is food and resources distributed on here? This seems quite interesting.
So when it comes to that question, we decided to go more of collectivist idea instead of a more of an individualistic one. We decided that we want to share like community wise, we share everything. There's no currency. We don't use a currency. Instead, rather, we work as a society together to bring things as a unit, and then we divide that equally. Now, I know back on Earth, there's a reason why there's currency, and you guys are more individualistic because there's an economy, there's capitalism and all that stuff. And people generally take advantage of more socialist ideas and they use that to benefit themselves. But here in Eden, we have decided to elect what we call a councilman every 6 months to their only sole job is to divide the food equally. That is the only power they have. They don't really have any other power other than that. And I don't even think you can call that a power per se because they are checked by the rest of the community because after 6 months they're up for election and they can't get elected after that. So yeah, we have to more with that kind of formula of sharing everything, all these goods and services together, and work together as a unit to make sure everyone gets their needs met. No one goes unfed.
So to kind of rebound off of that, actually, um, in this society with all this possible, what kind of governmental system? Because I know that with stuff like that, it's hard to manage. So where are you guys going in that direction?
So we decided to go with like a direct democracy government. So like that basically means like everyone is required to vote, and failure to do so basically means you get exiled. Unfortunately, now we're not going to like waste resources and send you back to to your own planet. You will still be on our planet, which is Alpha Centauri, but you will not be part of our society, and you will not be able to benefit from our community as a whole. Um, so yeah, so we follow a direct democracy government.
There's some
So
challenges to that though, right?
Yeah, so there are some challenges to that. One of the challenges that we have identified was like a sort of like deadlock or even votes. So like since we allow like all of our population to vote, of course there might be some times where we might get stuck on a certain topic, or we might even hit even voting. So to kind of fix that, we have a town hall as a like as a main building of business, and it's mandated to all of our citizens uh, to attend this town hall and to vote on all of these issues that we come up with. And if a deadlock remains, then a ballot will be resolved on the following voting day. So we will have somebody. We will like come back after like a day or so, and we will try to revote and eventually try to work it out.
there's another issue with that. So you're going to have voting for a lot of these things, such as voting for laws and rules in general. That will be done by the public, as I understand. So the other problem with that would be voter fatigue. How would the people want to go and do that, especially with all the things they would have to vote for?
You are absolutely correct. So another challenge that we've also identified was voter fatigue. So a solution for that we have came up with, and it's actually been working pretty well, was out of one day out of the month for a full day. So voting is taking place and is marked as a holiday. So we don't vote, like we only vote once a month, and that's like a whole day of voting to kind of negate voters fatigue. So we're not like doing it every week or like or bi-weekly. We are doing it once a month, and again, that is marked as a holiday. So there's no working. You don't have to do any of your like daily chores or any of your like daily like responsibilities. Your only responsibility on that day and on that holiday is to come to the town hall, make yourself present, and make your ideas and decisions known as we go through our voting process for that month. And that's how we kind of navigate voter fatigue. So I hope that answers your question.
Oh, that's very fascinating, actually. That's yeah, that's very fascinating. Is there now earlier you mentioned that you don't have any like currency, right? Like what's like your whole economic system? I'm kind of struggling to understand that. Can you go deeper into that topic?
Yeah, so as we talked about earlier, we don't have any, physical currency. We actually viewed currency as kind of like a downside to society, and we wanted to do something about that. And so, what we kind of do instead of just having a currency, everyone works for the betterment of the community. So, everyone gets a certain amount of food dealt out to them and stuff. That's something that the councilman oversees is like food and resources dealt out to everyone. And yeah, it's just, and another part of that, like we mentioned classism earlier, it kind of dovetails into that. It should hopefully eliminate the classism that we saw on Earth and we wanted to get away from.
Okay, great. And actually, now that you mentioned that classism, uh, what are you going to do about this oppressive stuff such as racism, classism as well, sexism? How are you guys going to help fight that?
Yeah, so essentially here on Eden, we value people. We value people, you know. We believe that everybody here is equal. We believe that everybody here deserves an equal opportunity, and our education system reflects that. So for obviously children, they learn in schools that everybody here is of equal, color doesn't change anything, your gender doesn't change anything, what you believe doesn't change anything. We are all people here, and we all deserve to be respected. We all deserve to be respected. We all deserve to be kind to each other. And we take that from the Catholic social teachings of being for everyone, like being for the common good. Like we put the common good over anything. Here, we want to make sure that everyone here is feeling welcome. We want to make sure that everyone here has a purpose. And obviously, discriminating of any kind would obviously put a thorn in that wheel, or put a stick in the wheel. So here we value educating people on why those things are wrong, and discrimination is wrong, marginalization is wrong. And through our education system, as well as allowing everyone to vote, have an equal say, are ways that we mitigate any kind of discrimination.
Okay, beautiful. And how would you guys there's the marginalization, the racism, all of that. How would you guys handle the the violence and also the cultural sides of the principles?
So for like the cultural side, we don't really have a restriction on cultures. So we kind of like as a good example, we think like our society is kind of based off like the United States, right? So like the United States is basically just a huge melting pot. That's kind of like we like to think of our society. We don't really, again, we don't hold restrictions on culture. Like anyone can join, feel safe and feel appreciated, and hopefully get a fair, basically like a fair living. So and to answer your violence question, um, it's basically merit based. It's a merit based system. So again, like if you do something wrong or you do something to break our rules, you don't exactly get exiled for that. You will get you'll be rehabilitated. So we also do have a building for that, and you will basically be taught why why violence is not acceptable in our society, and basically how that is basically will basically bring a downfall to our society if that goes unchecked. So we decided to go with the rehabilitation system because we thought it was more of a constructive way to negate that sort of problem that we have.
Well, that was great, guys. You covered anti-oppressive principles, norms, laws, practices, shape this utopia that you're trying to form. Um, it really covered the five faces of oppression there of powerlessness, marginalization, exploitation, cultural isolation, as well as violence too. Um, I see you even incorporated some things about the Black Space Manifesto as well. You created circles and not lines by welcoming everyone and accepting everyone as a whole.
Go off from that. There are there's obviously going to be a good amount of people in this at this society. First of all, I actually didn't get a good population count, and then as well, I would like to just know if there's anyone not included. Even though if you guys described it as utopic, would it even be not inclusive?
So for the population count number here on Eden is about a population of 10,000. So it's not really massive, but it's definitely growing. And for your question on whether or not we exclude anybody, everybody is welcome here in Eden. There are some exceptions, of course, and one of our major exceptions is people who don't vote. We believe here in Eden that everyone should have a voice, and everyone should express that voice. And actually, not expressing that voice is actually detrimental to our society. And if you do not vote, there will be repercussions for that.
Oh, so everyone must vote in this society. That's quite interesting. What is the day-to-day life in this society, and can you incorporate the five P's of placemaking into this as well?
Yeah. So the kind of day to day that we have is everybody has to sort of do their share of like work, so that way we don't have a sort of event where somebody feels like they're doing more work or less work than somebody else. So everybody gets a fair share of work, and then a fair share amount of like free time and stuff like that. So for one of our rationales was like the people. So everyone is welcome from all cultures, places, and or creeds. Like we said, everybody is welcome. It's a melting pot. We just want everybody to have a safe place to gather and basically just live in peace. Policies, everybody is obligated to be involved. So as Sal has said before, everybody is required to vote, and that is one of like our main like golden policies. Like you have to vote. If you don't vote, that's going to be a very big issue, and we kind of can't have that. Practice. So work is distributed on a merit-based system again. So every job is on a volunteer basis. So like I said, everybody's got to do a fair share amount of work, but that doesn't mean that we are giving them jobs to do. They get to pick their own jobs. They get to pick like something that interests them, and then they get to do that as they're part of like basically as like providing for our society. So but everyone over the age of 18 who is able-bodied must have a job. So of course, if you're under the age of 18, you will not be working, but you will be learning. So education here is actually free for anyone who is younger than 18. You will kind of learn our policies and our politics, and basically what you'll be expected of you when you turn 18. And then again, when your age of 18 starts coming up, so to speak, you will be learning through our education system. You will be learning how to do a specific job that you are interested in. So, like, if you want to build housing for our main families that are trying to get housing for themselves, you can go into building, and of course, if that's what you like to do, you can go into building and learn that as part of your education requirement. And then for play, we have an open communal center for rest and play. So we have a communal building where everybody is able to come together, relax, kind of have fun together. We have some entertainment as well there. So like we got like our normal like TVs, stuff like that, and just allow everybody to congregate together and have fun. And lastly, you of part of one of your like 5 P's there, place. So as part of that, sorry, we have dorm buildings. So kind of how this works is for single people of our part of society, you will live in a dorm, which is basically just you'll be living in one of our dorm buildings, which is like a 1-room or like a 1-bedroom like room. And if you have a family or you're planning to have a family, you will have the chance to build your own house. And of course, it will be built to a size of how your family is going to grow or be determined to be. And then another place that we have, is we've spoken before, is our town hall. Our town hall, again, is for all our voting and stuff like that. And our last place is our like what did we call it? We called it our basic, like our like you get like mental treatment to help you rehabilitate. So that's our rehabilitation building. That's what I was trying to get at, and I apologize for that. So yeah, I think that answered all your 5 Ps.
Oh, that's quite interesting, guys. Really quick before we end this meeting, what challenges has the system caused?
So obviously there are some challenges. Every once in a while you run into somebody who just doesn't want to pull their fair share, or an example would be in this like kind of merit-based system, maybe somebody doesn't want to fill in a job that we kind of need done. So in order to interact or counteract these challenges, we take more of we kind of work as a collective here, right? So if we need someone to do something but nobody else is volunteering, then we may ask some people, hey, could you help us out here? And the majority of people say, yeah. The majority of people come out and do what we need to have done. Obviously, that could lead to other issues in the future, like just not having sufficient workers want to work. People start feeling they're not compensated directly because we're not getting paid, right? We all get equal share of everything. But currently, that hasn't been an issue, but that could definitely rise in the future, though. And we'll definitely think about that.
Very well. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
Of course.
no, that's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, this is Sal, Steven, and Noah on with us from Eden, and that is their utopic society. I mean, from what I've heard, I guess good vibes to you guys too.
Of course.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night, guys.